Meniere's disease. Synonyms are endolymphatic hydrops, labyrinthine hydrops. It is a disease of the inner ear associated with distension of endolymphatic system characterized by episodic vertigo, fluctuating sensorineural hearing loss, and tinnitus. Pathology. Increased production or decreased absorption of endolymph. Distension of cochlear duct, saccule, and utricle. The rhinous membrane may bulge into the scala vestibulae. There may be rupture of the rhinous membrane leading to mixing of endolymph and perilymph, causing eighth nerve depolarization. Etiology. The exact etiology is not known. It may be due to vasomotor disturbance, allergy, autoimmune reasons, viral infections, hypothyroidism, syphilis, sodium and water retention. Clinical features. Males are more commonly affected than females. The age group affected are 40 to 60 years. There may be a positive family history in 10 to 20% of cases. It can be unilateral or bilateral. Symptoms are episodic vertigo, Tullio phenomenon, that is, exposure to loud sound produce vertigo and nystagmus. It is due to the distended saccule pressing over the stapes footplate. Hearing loss. There will be fluctuating low frequency sensorineural hearing loss that follows vertigo. Hearing improves after the attack and may be normal during the periods of remission. There may be intolerance to loud sounds, diploacusis. Other features are tinnitus, oral fullness, and emotional disturbances. Signs: the tympanic membrane is usually normal. Nystagmus may be present. Tuning for tests show sensorineural hearing loss. Investigations. Pure tone audiogram shows sensorineural hearing loss. In early stages, low frequencies are affected, resulting in a rising curve. Later stages, all frequencies are affected, resulting in a flat or falling curve. Speech audiometry. The speech discrimination score is decreased during the attacks, 55 to 85% in between attacks. Recruitment is positive. See, that is short increment sensitivity index score is more than 75%. Tone decay test is negative. Electrocochleography, the ratio of summating potential to action potential is greater than 30%. Calorie test shows canal paresis on the affected side with directional preponderance towards the opposite side. We can do electronystagmography also. Other test is glycerol test. It is used for the diagnosis and to assess the prognosis in Meniere's disease. Principle. Glycerol is a dehydrating agent. When given to the patient, it reduces the endolymph pressure, resulting in symptomatic improvement. Procedure. Glycerol in a dose of 1.5 milligram per kilogram is administered orally along with a flavoring agent like orange juice or lime juice. Audiogram, speech discrimination score, and electrocochleography are recorded before and 1 to 2 hours after taking glycerol. Interpretation. Positive test means an improvement of 10 dB in 2 or more adjacent octaves in pure tone audiogram or gain of 10% in speech discrimination score. There is improvement of symptoms and reduction in summating potential action potential ratio in electrocochleography. Other tests are BIRA, CT scan or MRI to rule out cerebellopontine angle lesions. Differential diagnoses are vestibular neuronitis, vertebrobasilar insufficiency, migrainous vertigo, and acoustic tumor. Treatment. General measures are reassurance, low salt diet, avoid alcohol, smoking, tea and coffee, avoid activities like swimming, diving and flying which require body balance. Medical treatment. 80% of the patients are improved by medical therapy. It includes vestibular sedatives like prochlorperazine, antihistamines like promethazine, cinnarizine, vasodilators like nicotinic acid to reduce the ischemia of stria vascularis, beta-histine 8 to 16 milligram 3 times a day. Diuretics like thiazide diuretics on alternate days, propanthelin bromide 15 milligram 3 times a day, control of allergy, stress and treatment of comorbidities like hypothyroidism, intratympanic gentamicin, which is called a chemical labyrinthectomy. It is used in unilateral Meniere's disease. Gentamicin is a vestibular toxic drug. 0.5 cc of the drug is injected to the middle ear. It passes through the round window membrane to the vestibular labyrinth. It is control vertigo in 60 to 80% of patients. Hearing loss is a side effect that is seen in 4 to 30% of patients. Microwick is used to deliver gentamicin. Grommet is inserted after meningotomy and a small wick made up of polyvinyl acetate is inserted. Through this, the gentamicin can be delivered. This avoids repeated injections. Surgical treatment is used when medical treatment fails. It can be conservative surgeries or destructive surgeries. Conservative surgeries include endolymphatic sac decompression, endolymphatic shunt operation, that is to drain the excess of endolymph to the subarachnoid space. Sacculotomy or fix operation. Distended saccule is punctured through the stapes footplate using a needle. Cordis tack operation. A stainless steel tack is placed through the stapes footplate that periodically decompresses the saccule. Cochleosacculotomy. Cochlear duct is punctured and drained to the perilymph. Surgeries to reduce vestibular activity. Selective sectioning of vestibular nerve to control vertigo with preservation of hearing. Ultrasonic destruction of vestibular labyrinth. Destructive surgeries are labyrinthectomy. The approaches, one is through cortical mastoidectomy. Then you have to make an opening in the horizontal semicircular canal and the membranous labyrinth is destroyed. Or transcanal approach through the oval window. Minute device therapy or intermittent low pressure pulse therapy. It is used for patients when surgery is not possible. The patient can do it at home. Procedure. Do meningotomy and insert a grommet. It is coupled with the minute device at the external auditory canal. Pressure waves delivered by this device is transmitted to the perineum through the grommet. This causes reduction in the endolymph pressure as it is redistributed through various channels. Thank you.